Learn like an expert and think like a coach. These two terms, learning and coaching, you can hear them everywhere nowadays.
Lifelong learning, learning for an exam, liking learning, not liking learning, meta-learning, e-learning, learning and development departments will never stop learning.
But what is learning and why some people claim they hate it? On the other hand, there is coaching, and you have the same story.
Performance coaching, business coaching, leadership coaching, sales coaching, what haven't I mentioned, career coaching, transformational coaching, relationship coaching, you have coaching for everything.
What do these terms mean? How do they differ? How are they connected? And how can they complement each other? That's what this episode is about. When people say they don't like to learn, I believe what they really mean is either they don't like the activity, or they find the course dull, or they don't like the teacher, or it's just a bad time. Learning is a process that leads to change. This process and this change can help us be more efficient in life, reach our goals faster, and help us learn in the future. And who of us doesn't want to get better? To make better things, make them faster, more efficiently. That's what learning is all about. And there are plenty of ways to achieve this change. This change can occur on three levels: the level of knowledge, attitude, or behavior. Let me break it down with an example. Let's say I go to a biology class and the teacher explains the different vitamins and what the vitamins are and how they help you. If I learn that the vitamin A is good for my eyes, or vitamin D or C, they both good for my immune system, that's a change on the level of knowledge. I have some knowledge. This could lead to a change in my attitude. Maybe instead of rolling my eyes whenever I see pills or supplements, I will actually think, oh, there could be something good in it. Maybe I will look at it more positively. And finally, it could lead to a change in my behavior. I might start taking those vitamins or making sure somehow through good nutrition that I get them into my body. Of course, if I don't care about health, or I don't like the teacher, or I just don't feel ready for this lesson, I'm just not gonna like learning. Learning design is basically change design. You have a certain starting point and you need to get to some end point, and the learning designer asks themselves which information and which experiences in what order help you make this change. At school or university, we hardly have to think about it because somebody else have already figured it out for us. The tricky part starts once we leave the education and we end up in the human real world, where we need to improve our skills and try to get somewhere, but we don't know how. On this channel, I will share some of the concepts from learning design that we can use in that situation, because that's what I want to do. Learn like an expert. That's the first part. The second part is think like a coach. So let's dive into coaching now. The word coaching itself comes from an English word meaning carriage, a coach. It's another word for a bus. And what does it do? It takes you from A to B. You have a starting point, you have a finish line, and there is a way that this carriage goes through. That's exactly what coaching is used for. You have a starting situation, you want to get to another point, and there is somebody who helps you figure out your own way. Coaching originated in the 70s. A tennis trainer, Timothy Galloway, has realized that his approach based on critique and giving advice didn't work in the long run. His tennis players, of course, understood what he was telling them, but there was a big gap between them actually implementing this knowledge, especially under tough pressure or competitions. He started testing a new approach with a player called John Whitmore, who then started applying it in business. And 50 years later, we see coaches everywhere. And that's amazing and wonderful, because coaching is a beautiful way of working with people. After some observation and reflection, Galway understood that the real opponents are here, our own limitation and weaknesses. The most efficient strategy turned out to just let every player figure out their own way. The role of a coach changed to be more encouraging, asking questions, guiding, but not rushing, not criticizing, not shouting, just helping the person get somewhere without telling them exactly how to do it or what to do. He wanted to help his players reflect on their own behavior and perception and guide this reflection in order to figure out their own strengths and how they could make the step towards the perfect performance. Coaching is pointless if someone expects a coach to solve all their problems or tell them how to live. That's not the role of a coach. That could be a role of a role model, a mentor, a parent, a tutor, but not really of a coach. International Coaching Federation, an organization that focuses on accreditations of coaches to ensure that the standards of coaching are high and ethical, defines coaching as partnering with clients in a thought-provoking and creative process that inspires them to maximize their personal and professional potential. The process of coaching often unlocks previously untapped sources of imagination, productivity, and leadership. Let's recap. Learning is a process that leads to change, either in understanding or a level of knowledge, level of attitudes, or level of behavior. And coaching is a process that takes you from A to B, so there is also some kind of a change. The difference is that in the learning processes, you very often base the activity on taking the insights from the outside, whether it's knowledge or how to perform certain action or learning from others or through experience. You just take these inputs and you reflect about them, you internalize them, you take some conclusions for the future, and that's the process of learning. The coaching, on the other hand, it's more inwards directed. It's more about you thinking about what you already know, what is important to you. It's diving into yourself, and with the help of somebody else who gives you some structured questions or follows a certain process, helps you get some clarity on what's important to you, why you can do something or you cannot, what could be supportive and what stops you from the specific change that you want to make. So they both related to change. I would say that they can complement each other very well. And yes, I don't believe next time when you say that you don't like coaching or don't like learning, I think it's not what you really mean. I wanted to record. There is a wasp and now there are church bells ringing. This wasp is really annoying. It's making more noise than me and we are competing for attention. I didn't want to start with bloopers today. Learning is a process that leads to change, which occurs as a result of experience and increases the potential for improved performance and future learning. Okay. Learning is a process that leads to change. That's all it is. And this change helps you improve your and this could change my behavior. Maybe I will drink less coffee because I know that the magnesium and calcium is flushed away from my body when I drink coffee. Okay, I don't think that's gonna work. But it could lead to change in behavior, hypothetically. Okay. The wasp has flown away. I gotta close the windows. You know what would help me record? Background music. Oh, it would be so nice, but I don't want to use the background music because I'm not sure how that will work with audio. Good, let me start again. And if you look at the definition of coaching, gosh, you know, the definitions are just so shit. Or the teacher is dull, and I forgot what I wanted to say. Hello and welcome to Mastery Muse, a channel dedicated to making you think like an expert. We are still at 40% to our goal of 100 subscribers. Remember, once we get there, we will be able to adapt the channel name. So please hit this red button, costs you nothing, and it brings us a little bit closer. Or share this channel with your friends. Also, if you have any questions, ask them in comments. Any questions, specific topics, requests, or additions, I'm really looking forward to reading from you. See you next Friday.